Come on into the room. Come on into the room. Be coachable, teachable, trainable. Post your city and state where you are catching this live from. Welcome to each and every one of you who are joining us today on IG, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on YouTube. My name is Brandmaster Martina Britt Yelverton, and today we are discussing whether or not you could potentially be missing leads because you don't have a follow-up system. So automation can save the day. I guarantee you it can save the day. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how leads and how setting up automation for those leads in a lead automation follow-up system, good gracious, can nurture those who come to grab your content. So I'm going to run this introduction so you guys can know more about the Learn, Lead, and Level Up community, where you can ask your burning branding questions. And then we're going to jump right into today's information. Hopefully it won't take as long as it took yesterday. However, if it does, then just go ahead and be prepared to stay for the entirety of the stream. Hey y'all, hey, Brandmaster Martina Britt Yelverton here, updating you about our daily live training and follow-up live open office hours. Join me every Tuesday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for live actionable lessons on building your brand from scratch. We'll cover everything from tools, strategies, and systems like Canva, StreamYard, GoHighLevel, AI technology, and more, to include the exact steps to take you from confused to confident. And the best part is, after each live stream, you can hop on Zoom with us to ask your questions and get personalized answers. Don't miss out. Mark your calendar and subscribe now to this YouTube channel. Join our free community, and I'll say it louder for the people in the back. If you want to learn, lead, and level up your automation in your MLM company, or as an entrepreneur who could possibly be struggling in your business, we not only have the solution, we also have the experts. Yes, this is your sign to join us. Our entire team is live each weekday. So if you snooze, you will lose. I said what I said. You heard what you heard. Now do what you now know you need to do to get your assets in order. So yes, guys, come on into the room. Be coachable, teachable, trainable. Welcome to the stream on TikTok and IG, as well as on LinkedIn, on Facebook. But most importantly, welcome to the room over on YouTube. So we are endeavoring to get you guys this information today on how to automate lead follow-up for better conversions. And I hope that you are ready. So on this month of January, and I know that it's not January, just continue to follow me, okay, Jackie? On this month of January, we began the process of helping you guys understand branding foundations, okay? And if you guys are actually on Facebook and on LinkedIn and on YouTube, you can see the screen that I'm sharing. And we talked about in branding foundations, the branding basics, all the way up through audience engagement. And this month of February, we're actually discussing building and scaling your brand. And then we will finalize the first quarter with mastering your brand growth. So I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to see the sequence of what we have going on here. And if you can't see the screen, my apologies, okay? TM5 and Kia, my apologies, but we're sharing screens over on LinkedIn, on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. And I need to have these visuals again today because we're going through a sequence that you guys need to be able to visually see. So those of you who are listening in on TikTok and IG, I thank you for your engagement. I appreciate it. If you want to jump over to YouTube, you will have a better learning and training experience live today. But I wanted to, again, continue to make you guys aware of what we're doing. So if you're missing out on leads because of slow follow-ups, then it could be because you don't have an automation system in place. And today we're going to actually take another step deeper into landing pages, as well as the email sequence that follows that landing page or that lead magnet or that information or piece of content or value or video that you've given to someone. We're going to go through the sequence of setting up a lead follow-up. Automation tips are going to be given today on how you can boost conversions, okay? And what CRM tool, Ebony, that we're going to use today to be able to showcase and to share and show that to you, okay? So if you are on IG and TikTok, please come over to YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn so that you can actually see the information that we are sharing today. And of course, for my hearing impaired family, you can watch on LinkedIn and Facebook Live because it actually shows the captions of the information that I'm sharing with you guys. And I just have to remember to slow down to make sure that my captions can keep up. Ain't that right, Jay? Okay. So let's jump right into some of the scripted tips that I have here in my notes first before I move over into the actionable steps that you guys are going to use. Okay. So you may be asking why automation is a game changer for lead follow-up. Well, to me, it's just common sense. Okay. 80% of sales literally require multiple follow-ups. There's some 1174 rule that's out there that an individual must have 11 interactions over the course of a time frame on 4 different platforms before an individual will know, like, and trust you enough to do business with you. Because most times these leads will ignore you maybe the first attempt unless your content was just that good where they knew that they had to opt in. But also when you set up automation, it actually ensures the accuracy, the speed, right? As well as the scalability of what it is that you have. So if your brand is currently out here and you're interested in moving in this month of February to build and scale that, then you want to employ and deploy automation to assist you with growing and scaling your brand. Okay. And so if you are available to use CRM platforms like your GoHighLevel to manage your contacts and automate your emails, that will save you the biggest headache, okay? Also, best practices are to use tools and tricks that are inside of that automation to actually personalize your message, because when people get an email that has their name involved or has some trait of their personality involved in the email, it makes them feel more familiar. And again, they know, like, and trust you more, right? And the initial thank you line or subject line or content within that email, if it is targeting them, if it's mentioning them, then of course they're more excited and they stick and stay and they read the body or the fullness of the email. All right. So you want to continue to have those things like that involved. Hey there, Coach Josias. I know I am so behind the wheel. Here I am being transparent with you guys and not following up with the lead that I have, right? I am human as well, and I will make sure that I get that done on today. So again, if you are actually going to include even scheduled follow-ups over a certain time frame, you want to make sure that you continue to include those personalized steps that are included inside of a CRM. So if you have disjointed pieces, like you have a MailChimp over here or you have an Aweber over here, and you're paying for a Calendly over here, and you're paying for, a lead system or a funnel or a setup or a structure over here, you can have all of those different 4 parts that you're paying for in multiple places inside of one system so that you can keep everything in one location, and so that you can also track and pay attention to the click-through rates and the response times and all of the other analytics that surround, right, that one message that you have. So those are just some of the notes that I had here to the side that I wanted to make sure that I covered before I moved over into some actionable steps, okay? And also, to save us some more time today and to save a little bit of the what's left of black hair in my head not going gray, I also employed my assistant. Now, you guys know that I call my assistant Susan. All right, Susan, of course, is ChatGPT, and I want to show you guys a little bit of information based on what I shared yesterday, and let's see if I can get that screen open. I want to share with you guys a little bit of information from what I shared on yesterday and how we are actually going to use Susan on today to make this make a bit more sense. Okay. So yesterday on the fly, I thought it was important that I go ahead and pull up the information and share and show you guys what it is that we're doing when we set up something like a landing page, and some of the content we were just doing off the dome, right? But today I'm going to employ a little bit more of Susan's information to make this a bit more interactive, and so that you can actually get this information organized prior to you getting ready to build out a landing page. And so on yesterday, what we were discussing were the various ways that you can use certain points. And on Watch Me Work Wednesday, you got access to this checklist. It's a 2-page, a front back, 1 page, okay, checklist that you guys would have access to. So you would have every piece, every tip, every nugget, every piece of value that I could give you with regards to setting up your landing page. And you were only able to access that if you watched the Watch Me Work Wednesday, because the link was in the description for how you could access that. It is a free checklist. But yesterday we also showed you how now we're going to move from just giving you guys the URL to go and download that. Hey there, Philip. What's going on, Ron? Where you could actually now go to a landing page, enter your information, and receive the information. And so today we're going to do the third portion of that, where you may want to have a system that automates after they go to that landing page, key in their information, they're giving access to the PDF, but you want to have an email follow-up system that says, hey, now that you've received it, maybe what is it that you're doing with it? Okay. So let's go in and make a couple of quick edits here that we can utilize. This was off the dome, but we're going to use Susan today and see what Susan said. So Susan said for the headline, then we want to change it to this. Okay. So because we requested for Susan to give us this information, we're going to grab that, and then we're going to go back over here and we're going to say, Susan said to make this say this. So, hey, that's what it now says. All right. And we want to make it bold so it stays into the correct color pages. And it says, build high converting landing pages with this free checklist. Okay. Then it said we want to utilize the subtitle information here, get the ultimate landing page checklist to optimize every step and turn visitors into leads and customers. So we want to go ahead and grab that sentence as well. Let me grab that subheadline. And I don't know why this is acting up, but okay, now we got that subheadline, and we're going to drop that one down here. All right. All right. And this one, I believe I want to move a little bit of this information in here. Maybe build, enhance, optimize your failing lead capture or landing system. So I'm going to have that one say 2, so that it becomes a part of what we have above here. All right. And then we're going to have a ... on that and get rid of those exclamation points. All right. And we're going to leave that like that. So we grab that information quickly from Susan, and that's what we're going to do. Let's separate that for a little bit more clarity when we're reading it. And of course, we're doing this on the fly, so everything is not going to line up maybe the way that we want it to line up. But we can make, certain pivots to that and, do what we need to do. But there we go. So we're going to leave that alone because, done is better than perfect. What's going on, Lori? So good to see you. All right. And so we're going to save that aspect of that. Okay. All right. So let me do this, because let me refresh and reload that. And I may have to type that all again, because that was a tab we had open yesterday. So the information or the landing may have timed out. And let's see if we can go back into it here. All right. And so it did not save that information. So we want to leave that one, and we were changing this. And what we changed this one to, guys? We just changed it to build, enhance, optimize your failing lead capture or landing system. And we just updated this one down here with get the ultimate landing page checklist to optimize. Okay, we just did that one. And we also edited this one from what Susan gave us up here. So let's grab that again. And hopefully when we click save this time, it will save, right? All right. And we want that bold so that it goes back. All right. So it saved it that time when we hit save. We'll get into optimization on SEO data and all that a little bit later. All right. So now we've updated that there. So the next thing that we want to ensure that we do is in our checklist, and there's only a couple of things that were given to you. In our checklist, we want to make sure that we have the eye-catching visuals, and we were ensured to add a image of the checklist. We also made sure that we had a form on the page here, which had an immediate call to action. But I would like to add an additional button up here so that people will know to scroll down maybe and see that there is, a way for them to grab it there. So I'm going to say we're going to add a button there, and look how easily it kept it in the color palette. Yes or yes. All right. And so I'm just going to drop another thing in there. So this drops down, and we want this button to say, according to Susan, did she give us an option for what that call to action button should say? Yes. It's just say download your free checklist now. So we're going to take that and we're going to drop that into here. And we'll go over and we're going to name that button download your free checklist now. And because we know it's below, not now, we're going to say below, because we want them to go further down and we want them to actually use that form that we have there. So I would like to insert here after that statement a picker that says pointing. So, and we want it to point down. All right, so that gives us the point down. Plus, I like pretty much all of my boxes to have rounded corners. That's just a preference of mine. And so I would go in here and I would be able to utilize any options that were available in here to be able to make the borders, the button, the corners, and all of those things look the way I would want it to look at if that's what I were doing on today. And then we're going to save that next step. So then the next thing, according to our checklist, of course, keeping with a simplistic design here, she also said that when we're doing this, we want to have SEO enriched descriptions. So for this, I would like to take all of this SEO information here, this data that it's giving me. And as you saw when that box popped open earlier, it asked for information here, right? And so some of the information that it's asking for, we can pop that information right here, even though it may be more than the characters. We want to make sure that we're using what it's asking us to use here. And we want to pop that directly into the title. Now, we already know that we have a good bit of this information where we named the page itself. But let's just break that up into bulleted information. And we want to say, high converting. There we go. Something like that. Just shorten it up just a bit so it's what shows up very quickly. Build landing pages, free checklist. That's really the crux of what it is that we're wanting to say in this. All right. And so for that, we're just going to say update that right now. We'll, ask Susan to give us more about those keywords in just a moment. So next, Susan is saying your headline, your subheadline, your SEO data. And then she's saying, so when we're building out this checklist, these are the things that we want to have in place. We already have the mock-up there. We've just added the call to action, and we have the simple opt-in form. All right, so currently, because this is brand new and we're putting it out here, we don't currently have the social proof for this checklist. Again, on yesterday, I told you, number one, this is the social proof, us showing where we're building it out. So we could actually add in the video that we wanted. We could actually utilize other checklists and responses to other checklists that we've given. And we need to make sure any of the text information that goes along with that specific social proof says, hey, the brand new cheat sheet checklist yielded this response. Not the landing page build out checklist yielded this response. The get your assets in order checklist landed this response. So even though we have social proof from 3 other checklists that we have, it's okay if we were to use those testimonials here on this page, as long as we're transparent and specific with what we're saying. What's going on, Cornelius? If what we're saying is actually this checklist had this social proof, this checklist had this social proof, because now it puts you in the mindset as a person viewing this page. Oh, she has other checklists, number one. Two, other checklists yielded this. So maybe this specific checklist that I'm getting for free will yield this. Okay. Also, if you have other things like what your social media account is, what badges that you have, trust badges, you can add those as well. Okay. And again, you want to make sure, like I said, that you utilize this simple form, quick, easy form that allows them to quickly remit their name, their mobile number, their email address, and hit send me my freebie now. Okay. Now below, this is where you could add your social proof, but we just chose on yesterday to add 3 of the tips that are going to come within that checklist. And let's see if we can update a little bit of this information now that we have that. Let's go back up here and say, we'll just grab that body of information right there and drop that in there. All right, let's make it bold. And if we were to have a little bit of information here, we can drop that there. Let's copy that. Just getting a little bit more body of information here into the base of this. All right. And so, and we'll say this free landing page checklist is your step-by-step guide to designing, optimizing, and tracking landing pages that drive results. Okay, so we just want to have a little bit more information that's pertinent to why they should go ahead and download this checklist. Okay, now from there, we want to make sure that we move down into what that follow-up will look like after they receive this. So we've made a couple of changes based on what we put in yesterday. We're going to say save, and we're going to open that up so you can see the changes live here on the screen, right? So build high converting landing pages. There's the green information. There's the button that would actually scroll them down. I need to go back and code that button. And then here's the form. Here's a little bit of the updated body information. We discussed all of this yesterday below on why it is the way it is. Go back and watch that from yesterday if you could, please, and that will bring you up to date. What's going on, Dr. Regina Turner? So good to see you, my CTT squad members. She said CTT squad in the building, yes or yes. Okay, she said I was so engulfed with the content that I forgot to comment. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for letting me know how great this information is. I'm hoping that it will continue to serve people who are setting up their landing pages and who don't have a checklist to actually follow a step-by-step guide to help them enhance their current landing page. And again, if you were available, all of you, to watch the Watch Me Work Wednesday from yesterday, in that description, you will be able to see the link that you need to click to be able to get this checklist. Again, yesterday I showed you a few of the tips on screen. And as you see, even with the image here on the screen, when you go to it, yes, those first 7 are available for you to see because you can probably make your screen larger or smaller. But then the other 8 plus the 2 bonus, the 8 through 12 plus the 2 bonuses that I have available, they are not available for you to see. But usually if you know there's more and it's a free download, you definitely want to go ahead and key in your information so that you can get the additional tips, right? So what we wanted to do is go back in here really quickly and make sure we code this button to say for it to scroll to an element. So we're going to say scroll to an element, and the element that we want it to scroll to is this area here, this section. So let's call that the form, the LP landing page form section, right? And let's go back up to this button and let's make it scroll to an element. And what is the element that we want it to scroll to? We want it to scroll to the LP form section, and we want to save that. So now we know if we go out here, since we saved it and we refreshed it, this button should now have an action. So if we come to this site and we read this information and we want to download the free checklist below, we're going to click that and it's going to immediately pop us down to this next section so that we can get it. So we're going to complete this form and we're going to say send my freebie now. So this is generally where the rubber meets the road, and you think as a person who created this landing page that you're done. They're going to get their freebie. You're going to be done with them. No and no. That is incorrect. Today, we're discussing what the follow-up, the nurturing, the next step sequence is that needs to happen. And that comes inside of your email follow-up that you have. So one of the first steps that you can have to happen is when they select send my freebie now, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this out as if I'm sending it. It's probably going to duplicate. And let's see if it will allow me to key that same information yesterday and still give me what I needed to give me, because I do not have this currently set up to do anything other than open up the PDF. Let's see what happens and where we left off at yesterday. I can't remember at the moment. All right, so it's taking my information, and currently I still have it set up now to open up the actual checklist, okay? Which is what we want, because they want, when they come to your page, they want least resistant as possible. They want to be able to key the information and boom, the checklist open, right? That's what you give them. However, the next step that you would like to have included in this is you want to make sure that you have set up a point of automation that shoots them an email. How would it shoot them an email? It's going to use the email that they just keyed in, right? And the way that you can do this is by having an automation set up. So let's go back out here and let's go to the automation for this. And because we don't have this set up yet, you're going to see us do this automation on the fly. So I believe, did I go ahead and create this folder for this? I don't believe I did. No, I didn't, because I wanted to show you some examples first. So let's just use one of the examples that I have here for the 10 meal book. Currently, if you go to get this particular book, there is a form somewhere that I have, a form that is submitted for this particular download, and the form is named this. When this form is accessed, my system automatically tags them 10 meal book. It creates the opportunity, so I will be able to see how many people got into this particular option. It sends the me letting me know someone just ordered the 10-minute book. It sends me an SMS message, and then it grants them access into the group that I have for 10 meal book. It does all this on its own. All that individual had to do was to see I created an option, a post, a thank you, a welcome, a piece of content, a video, right? And it told them to do something, went a call to action. And when they did the call to action, all of this sequence happened behind the scenes automatically, instantly. Okay. And that is what you want to happen. So currently the way that we have it set up is instantly when they complete that form, instantly what pops open is them having access to this PDF. But again, to continue to nurture that person, you need to have set up a way for you to continue to follow up and engage with them. So let's create a quick workflow from scratch. This is going to be a very, very basic workflow. You know, these are my nemesis. All right. And I'm going to title this one landing page free checklist workflow. Okay. And the trigger for this is going to be, again, I like for it to be the form that they completed, the form that they submitted. All right. And we're going to call this, because I just like to be really, really specific, landing page free checklist form was submitted. And I'm going to copy all that because I'm going to use that again in a moment, right? So a form was submitted. The workflow trigger name is going to be the LP free checklist form was submitted. What form was it? The form is the landing page form that we created. Of course, when I go and update the name of that form, it's going to automatically update in here. And we're going to save that trigger because that is the form that we want them to receive, whatever our follow-up sequence is going to be. Partially what we want to do is we want to actually create a tag. We want to tag them with a tag so that anytime we are wanting to reach out to anyone that used that form, all we have to do is use their tag, and it will create a list of anyone who used that form because it gave them that tag. And now I don't have to go, how many people did I send this to? How many people actually opted in? It creates a tag for them. And we say, okay, save that action. Additionally, we want to be able to say, also send me, so should you choose, an email, an SMS, or something that lets me know someone actually just got that download like you saw in the last one. And so I'm going to say send me an internal notification. And I like for them to come either via an email or an SMS. Okay. So I can say send an SMS to a specific user, and that user be myself, the brand master. Okay. And I can say, I want it to say contacts first name, because we asked them to enter their first name, just downloaded the free LP checklist. Isn't that what we just created a tag? Yes, the free LP checklist, save an action. So as soon as that form is completed, I'm going to get an internal notification that says a new person just did XYZ. Okay. Also, I want to be able to say, and I'm going to save this one because I'm going to go out and have to insert this information in a different area so that I can use the template area to be able to do this. So now let's go back out and let's go over to our marketing tab here, and let's go over to our snippets, because I want to create a snippet for this, and I want to add a snippet, and let's create a folder for it. And this is going to be, which folder are we naming this? The landing page free checklist folder. All right. And because we've created a folder for it, let's add a snippet. And we want it to be an email snippet, because that's what we have initially from them. And this is going to be the landing page free checklist. What do we say? Email. Okay. Subject is going to say their first name, contact, first name, because we want it to be personalized, right? Subject, first name. Here is your download, right? And then we want to say first name. And you know, I like to say, hey, y'all, hey. All right. And for this one, I want to be able to say first name. Thank you for your interest in the landing page free checklist. All right. Now let's go and see, because again, we don't want to do it all off the dome. We want to use whatever we already have in place for this. Let's see what Susan said the first follow-up should be. So it's saying your free landing page checklist is here. Kind of like that better. All right. So let's copy that and let's bring that over in here. And let's say Susan, whatever her first name is, your free landing page checklist is here. All right. And I don't want it all caps. That's just me. All right. Next, they said we should say first name. We already have that. Thank you for grabbing, blah, blah, blah. So for the moment, I'm going to grab all of this here, and I'm going to pull that over into the body here. All right. And again, we're going to say, I've already said her first name. So boom, thank you for grabbing the landing page checklist. Love the emojis that it adds in. This step-by-step guide will help you create and optimize, blah, 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 blah. Enter an extra space. All right, download your checklist here, right? I'm going to say save for the moment because I know that I have the actual PDF for this checklist over here. And I'm going to go and get the link for that. head back into my automation. Nope, I was in marketing for the snippets. Head back into the snippets and go back into that folder. Child, what we name that folder? What did we just name that folder, y'all? Okay, the LP free checklist. All right. And it didn't stick it in there yet. I don't know why. Y'all, what did it do with it? What did it do with my snippet, y'all? There it is. All right. All right, so let's finish editing that. And we want to insert this link here. LP free checklist. All right, and I wanted to open that in a new window. And I'm going to say save. All right, so it made that a clickable link. Now it says download your free checklist. I like to say, go to the end of it. Thank you. Just to make sure, because I promise you, sometimes people just do not read. All right, and then let's go ahead and remove it off of that part. So the click here is no longer clickable, and they can click LP free checklist here. Okay, and then I like to let's close out with the rest of what Susan said. I never like the way that does that. I like a space in between mine. If you have any questions as you go through the checklist, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help to your success. Now, specifically, I like to add in the actual signature for this account. So when this is received, a custom value is already there, and I like it for it to be my user signature, right? For it to go there. Now, additionally, I want to make sure this email sequence lands and has their download. So I'm going to also attach it here. All right. So if I go out here to the Watch Me Work Wednesday and I go in February and I grab the PDF, I'm making sure not only is it in a clickable link, they already just got it, but I'm making sure that it's attached to this email as well. I want to make the process so seamless that there's no way that they miss receiving this particular document. Now, before I hit save and it closes everything out, what I want to do, because I don't like that extra space that's there, I want to go up and remove that space and make sure it looks clean the way I want it to look over here. I'm going to send a test. So let's send a test. And actually, Dr. Regina, I have you on here. I could make sure I send a test to you as well. All right. And I'm going to put a comma . All right, and let me do this just to make sure we're good. So that's not out here public facing. All right, there we go. Child, still up there, ain't it? Taking forever. All right, we'll say save. Sorry about that. Hopefully the audience isn't so big that ends up getting you spammed. Okay, so I've sent that. So what I want to do is open up again, edit the snippet, drop mine in there to be sure, send the test to me and from me. If it needs it, send the test and make sure it looks like I want it to look. I'll say save for now. And then I'll refresh mine over here. Pull this up on the screen. And make sure it's there. So Dr. Regina, let me know in the comments at your earliest. Okay, good, you got it. So she said yes. LP checklist, got it, yes. Is the link clickable in yours? Because on the test that I received, for some reason, it's not clickable. Let me know that. And so what I want to do is open it up again just to have a look at it, review it again, contact first name. Thank you for grabbing. We're going to save that. And while she is looking at that, what I'm going to do is go back over to my automation point at this juncture. And I'm going to go to my LP and I'm going to open it up. Okay, so your link was clickable, and it's okay. I understand slight typo there. It was clickable, and it took you straight to the checklist. Awesome. All right, so now in the automation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, and I'm going to add an external email. So I want it to send an email from Brandmaster Martina Britt Yelverton. And yes, I could go in here and use all of those. Probably would be best if I did that. From email, this is a quick way to do it, from the user email. Okay, in the subject, we could enter that, but what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and grab the template, right? And the template, we're going to locate the one that we just created, which we know is LP checklist. And it will pre-populate all of that information in the body here, including the one attachment. Okay, so now it's already, everything up here is fillable, and I'm going to save this action, right? And I like my stuff to be named correctly, so let me go back in here and edit this, and I want it to be, named LP, I'm just this anal, y'all, checklist email. All right, so that when it saves it, I know LP free checklist email is what it's going to send. Okay, we're going to save that, and we're going to actually publish that. All right, so now what we've done is we've created the first automation based on what Susan has says, and that is the email. This is the delivery email, right? It's also saying in 2 days you want to follow up. In 5 days, you want to follow up with your offer. Okay, so in between there, if you choose to insert something, you could. But again, it's giving you a sequence, a 3-step, 3-day sequence where immediately they get this, the day 2 they get this, and the day 5 they get this, right? Now you're probably wondering, how do I do that? All right, well, one of the ways that you can do it is you can actually enter a wait step here, right? Wait. And when you say wait, you can say wait 2 days, right? And this is going to be our, let's do it this way. There you go, time delay. And we want to say wait, right? And we want to save that action, right? So a wait step has been entered. And now what do we want to do? We want to go back over here, and in that second email that's going to go out, this is what we're wanting that second one to say. All right. And I'm going to copy all of that so I don't have to keep popping back over here. But now I'm going to go and create. Let's save. And let's take it off of being published just for a moment. All right. And in my snippets again, now, there are other areas that you can use. I'm just most familiar with snippets, and so I'm going to continue to use the snippets to keep us where we need to be right now and seeing what we need to see. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to move this into the LP folder so I can find it and I don't be looking around for it. All right, so let's move it into the folder that we wanted to have it in. So now when we go to our folders and we're in the LP folder, we're in that checklist. All right. So if we were going to, we could just duplicate that snippet and it's going to populate it right open. we know she told us that this is actually the follow-up day 2 email there, correct? All right. And this is what she currently has in here. So I don't want to lose any of my formatting. So I'm just going to drop down and pop that in. And then I'm going to have this one say D2 follow-up, again, to the LP free checklist email. Again, what did she say the title of this needs to be? The title of this one needs to be here. Copy. I like to keep the first name. This is the question that we're asking. Have you started optimizing your landing pages? All right, that's what we're going to name it. So let's take that out. All right, we can take all of that out. Again, let's go back up to what we were saying. We want to address by first name. We want to say checking in. So let's go ahead and grab the full body of this particular area here. And let's come on up to the beginning. And of course, we know I'm overthinking this and making it. I just don't want to lose any of my formatting because you know how things happen on live. All right. All right. And I lost it anyway, didn't I? Yep, sure did. All right. So, hey there. And first name. All right. The question is just checking in. That is something that I would say, or I would say following up the check-in. Make sure that when you're getting your responses from your Susan, that you're actually utilizing your own terminology. Okay. So I would say here in this one, hey there, first name, just checking in. How are you doing with the landing page checklist? Have you started optimizing your landing pages yet? Okay. This checklist was designed to help you take actionable steps. So don't let it sit unused. If you need help, don't forget. And I want to say we are available in our free brand new community for more guidance and tips. Now, additionally, I may say we're also live each and every Tuesday, and I may put that verbiage in here, okay? But you don't want to make it so many directions. Remember, we talked about that. You don't want to have so many call to actions that the confused mind, seeing all the different things they could do, does nothing. So initially, you've already said, "Hey, have you done have you done anything with your landing page checklist yet?" That's one honest call to action. The next is, well, if you haven't and you have questions, join us in the free community. That's two. If I say, or you can join us on, that's a third directive. That could confuse the mind. A confused mind does nothing. But for me, it would not be, but for her, it may be. Okay. So I'll say again, join our free brand new community here. Join our, go ahead and make that bold, free brand new community here, right? And I know again that the link, and I'm going to go ahead and put the click here right after that link. I like that little icon there. Okay. I might start using that one. Okay. Anyway, I got it doing duplicates now. So I want to say keep up the great work to your success, and let's go ahead and get rid of all this extra. And of course, we want to keep my signature there. All right. So now what we want to do is make sure on this area right here, I'm going to have it say brand new agency community right here. And I am going to add the link in there. Right? So that it can open up in another window. And now that's a clickable link. Okay. So this is the second follow up, me asking if they'd like to come over and join our free community. Okay. So now let's save that one. And yes, I'm going to leave the checklist on here just in case she didn't get the first one. It's still in the second one. That checklist is down there. Okay. And I'm going to say save. Now, again, in our other window, what were we currently doing? We were creating a second step, day 2, after they received this, correct? So we want to make sure that we go back in there. And now we want to say, after we wait 2 days, we want to say, send another email. And the email that we want to send, let's go ahead and have it come from the user's first name, comma. And I think I have, well, I'm not going to get too heavy into that right now. First name, the email address, obviously from the user's email. And again, we want to go down here to the templates, and we want to go down to the D2 follow-up. All right. And we want to save that action. Now, also, what did she say here? Day 5, we're going to do this. So let's go ahead and copy that. So we'll have it. Let's go back over and let's enter another wait step. So now we want to wait 5 days. I myself would prefer it be another 2 days, but we're going to be coachable, teachable, trainable, and we're going to do what Susan said. And Susan says, now wait 5 days. So now we're going to wait 5 days. And what are we going to do again? We're going to make sure that we name this D2 follow-up LP check list email. Let's save that one. All right. And now we're going to do another email. Now, this may seem, and I promise you, I understand, it could be a lot going over your head. This is a lot of steps, but understand, when you set this up this one time, it's going to work for you automated going forward. All right. Thank you for that. So the labels make sense. And yes, you must stay organized, because even me doing this live, my brain is all over the place thinking of things I may be missing. Right. But I want to ensure that I'm giving you everything, every actionable step that goes on in the mindset, because when I do this without commentating, it's probably a 5-minute. Grab this, copy, paste, put it over here. Grab this, do this. Next, we want to do this. Next, we want to do that. Blah, blah, blah. Save, test, everything worked. Wait the 2 days. Or I'll say 2 minutes just so I can see it actionably happen. In 2 minutes, do this. In 5 minutes, do this so I can test it. Then I go back into it and I now change it to say 2 days or 5 days. You understand what I'm saying? So we're in the position of this and we're saying wait, and we're asking in this for it to wait 5 days, and we're saving that action. And then next, we want it to send another email. All right. And the email that we're wanting it to send, we're going to go over and we're going to create that last one, which is going to be the 5 days. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead while I'm in here and say day 5. And I'm going to call this final F up LP checklist email. All right. From name, it's going to be the user first name. From email, it's going to be the user's email. And I'm going to go over and grab that checklist. Okay. So for now, I'm just going to have it say none, and I'm going to save an action, and doggone, it won't let me save nothing. All right. But let's just have it say, oh, it's the subject line. We got a subject line. The subject line was here. So let's go ahead and grab the subject line. Of course, I like for it to be customized to the contact, first name. And the only reason I'm dragging and pulling it is because I already have something in my clipboard and I don't want it to get all out of whack. Okay, so, and we don't have a name. Now will you save it? Okay, so yes, so we're going to save that one. Do you have so do you blah, blah, blah. So you have to create a snippet along with the workflows. Okay, so giving you clarity on the snippets. The reason I'm creating a snippet is because I want it to be already saved somewhere inside of this system, not so that I have to keep going out and checking what my Susan said. So I'm saving it as a snippet because I'm able to grab that snippet and reuse it in other areas as a template, and not have to actually go in here and go down into the body here and type out what I wanted to say. So for the purposes of you asking that question, I'm going to show you here. If I wanted to just paste directly from here, all of this information, I could actually grab it all out of here and go directly in here and paste it in here, make it look all pretty the way that I want it to look all pretty, and I wouldn't have to use snippets. See, I could put it all right in here, structure all of this. By now, you've had a chance. By now, I can say, hopefully, you've had a chance to use the landing page checklist and are starting and start optimizing your web pages, ready to take the next step. And then I can say maybe in here, I would love to invite you to join me for a VIP day, comma, more information is available on this link, right? I could actually type in everything that I want it to say or do directly here inside of the email that's going to send. But I like to use the snippets because I'm able to just click right here. Taking all of these, I could have created all of these in one window all at one time over inside marketing. And then when I got in here to actually show you the workflow, I could have just hit the template box right here and picked them. But I'm showing you pulling directly from Susan, putting inside marketing, and then clicking the template button. So hopefully by me showing you both methods, you can determine what works best for you, Dr. Regina, and for those of you who have left from over on TikTok and IG and come over on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, you can see that, okay? And so I would love to invite you to join me for a VIP day. And then I'm going to say this is an exclusive offer training service. More information is available on this link, okay? And again, we know if I go over there, I can say the click here and all of that. Again, this is the opportunity to build on the foundation you've created and see results in your conversation. Don't miss out. I like to say, of course, to your success, drop in here the user signature, okay? Now let's go back up here and let's go grab the link for my VIP day. And I think it's VIP day. Martina Britt Yelverton. I'm verifying that. Yes, it is. Okay. And so we're just going to say link here. Why is my doggy scratching on the door trying to come in? All right. So we're going to say VIP day, link it there. We're going to say open in a new window. And we're going to say save there. So now I can move that forward, take the link off of there so that stays separate. More information is available on this link. And I'll say on the link above. All right. So this is your opportunity too. So what I want to do, because I would prefer to keep it in a template, I'm going to probably go back and pull this out and put this inside my snippets, okay? But for you today, I'm going to leave it here so that we can actually test the system in a moment. Dr. Regina, I'm going to change it to 2 minutes and 5 minutes, and then you can let me know in the comments your receipt protocol when I give you the link for this, okay? So I also want to make sure that I'm saying, hey there, because that is my normal vernacular first name. There. So, hey there, by now, hopefully you've received. I would love to invite you. This is your opportunity to. All of that is accurate. And again, I want to add it since I'm not using the snippet. I want to add it in here one more time. And then I even want to say up here to optimizing your pages, just in case, comma, I've attached it again to this email. All right. All right, so that's how I want that to read, and I'm going to save the action. All right, and I am going to go ahead and publish this and save this, and I could test the workflow. So I believe I have you in the system, Dr. Regina. So what I want to do is hit test the workflow, and let's see if it will go ahead and test that. So I'll use the Gmail there, and I'll run the test and see what it does. Okay, so we'll leave that there. All right, and we'll go back over to our workflows. It is now a public workflow. All right, and so I've just received on my mobile device here the drop down letting me know Dr. Regina just downloaded the LP free checklist. Okay, I've received that part. So what I'm going to do is pull this up so y'all can see the way this goes. And that is where it's showing me one individual enrolled, and that's because I ran the test, and one is active. The beautiful thing is you can actually see the status of where the individual is. So what it's saying is that this did delivered, it was open, but it's not showing that anything was clicked yet. Okay, so you're available to run a test and see the results in real time to make sure your system is working the way that you want it to work before you actually launch it live. Okay, so because this is also set up on a 2-day and a 5-day, you wouldn't be able to see the results right here unless we made that adjustment inside of the workflow. So for the purposes of what we're doing today, we're going to go into the workflow, and I'm going to make the slight edit here, and I'm going to update and change that because you see it's showing it's waiting 2 days before it sends Dr. Regina XYZ. Okay, so in the essence of time, I'm actually going to go down here and I'm going to hit test so that I can go ahead and get that first initial option over to you, Dr. Regina. Okay, and so I've gone ahead. Let's save the action and bring that back on screen. So I've gone ahead and initiated both of those test emails over to you. Okay, good deal. Received the second one. Let me know when you receive the third email as well. Now, for the purpose of the test and the execution logs, I am available to go in and see here that Regina was added to a workflow, that she was given a tag. Let's see that she also received the internal notifications, and then it is in the wait 2-day step. Okay, so this again will allow you to see the process of your automated sequence, again, continuing to nurture your customer, your prospect, your client for you in your absence. Yes, it's taking a lengthy bit of time for me to set it up here for you live. However, you are available to see, I hope, that this actually will work on your behalf, right? Outside of anything you're doing. When you put that first initial post up, when you put that first initial landing page up, when you put that first initial step up, right? You're hands off at that point, unless an individual reaches out to you, needs to join the community, is looking to get whatever VIP day or offer. They're then able to go through your system while you're hands off. Okay, so also, Dr. Regina, because we have you in the system, you're going to receive this again in 2 days and 5 days. Okay, but I do see one thing. I want to make sure that I do have this step saying wait 5 days. Yes, I just did not name it wait 5 days. Okay, I've just updated that and saved that action just so I can see the sequence show the way that it needs to show, which is on here, wait 2 days, wait 5 days. Okay. And then again, I hope that's making sense. So I'm checking my notes to see if I covered everything that I needed to cover. She says, no worries. Okay, good deal, good deal. And you received both of them. Great, great, great. All right. So I want to ask, because I always ask at the close of a live training, and of course it did go the hour instead of the half hour. What's the biggest challenge you face when following up with your leads? If you guys would, be so kind as to take the opportunity to drop that information below. What exactly is your biggest challenge that you incur or that you endure or that you go through with regards to following up with your leads? If you could drop that below, I would greatly appreciate it. Leave your answer below, because we go live each and every Tuesday through Friday directly after we finish up, this live training inside of our private group, right, to answer any burning branding or any business questions that you may have. I'm excited to give you this information on today. It was a little lengthy, but hopefully it was impactful and that it will help you with what you are currently endeavoring to do inside of your business or brand. And more importantly, my hope is that it will show you that you can set up an automated system to follow up and nurture those who are interested in your product or service, your landing page in this particular instance, and it will do some of the work for you, giving you that time freedom that we all endeavor to do. So thank you for your time on today. We're going to pop over into our Zoom meeting. Actually, Bridget is live right now, 2 p.m., but I'm still going to open up the Zoom room so I can verify whether or not we have any branding or business questions prior to jumping into her training. I appreciate your time today, Brand Master Martina Britt Yelverton, hoping to brand you, educate you, but most importantly, helping you to get your assets in order. Hey y'all, hey, Brandmaster Martina Britt Yelverton here, updating you about our daily live training and follow-up live open office hours. Join me every Tuesday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for live actionable lessons on building your brand from scratch. We'll cover everything from tools, strategies, and systems like Canva, StreamYard, GoHighLevel, AI technology, and more, to include the exact steps to take you from confused to confident. And the best part is, after each live stream, you can hop on Zoom with us to ask your questions and get personalized answers. Don't miss out. Mark your calendar and subscribe now to this YouTube channel. Join our free community, and I'll say it louder for the people in the back. If you want to learn, lead, and level up your automation in your MLM company, or as an entrepreneur who could possibly be struggling in your business, we not only have the solution, we also have the experts. Yes, this is your sign to join us. Our entire team is live each weekday. So if you snooze, you will lose. I said what I said. You heard what you heard. Now do what you now know you need to do to get your assets in order.